The angels have brought me to you today with a message that's hit like a ton of bricks, a real eye-opener for someone who's been taking up a fair bit of space in your thoughts and energy. Get ready, because what I'm about to tell you is the story of a proper wake-up call, a moment of clarity so deep and impactful that this person nearly keeled over. Yeah, you heard right. There was a moment, a specific point in time and space, when the truth about who you really are and what you mean in their life hit them like a bolt from the blue. It was an epiphany that left them breathless, heart thumping, and mind in a spin. They figured out, without a shadow of a doubt, that you were the one they should never have let go of. But it's not just a bit of regret, dear soul. It's something way deeper than that. They realized you were their anchor, the quiet, safe harbor they never knew they had, until life's tide left them adrift. For ages, this person was living under a bit of a cloud. They saw you, chatted with you, but didn't truly see you. To them, you might have been a constant, comforting presence, but your vital importance was underestimated, overshadowed by daily distractions and the illusions their own mind cooked up. They were so caught up in their own issues, their own fears and doubts. They couldn't quite get a handle on your soul's language, the pureness of your intent, and the healing power of your energy. They didn't get that your presence wasn't just a fluke, but a gift from the universe, an answer to prayers they didn't even know they'd made. They only saw the surface, but the ocean of love, wisdom, and stability you embodied stayed hidden from their sight. So, they just carried on, making decisions based on that limited view, thinking they could cruise through life without your emotional compass. The shock of the discovery hit when they found themselves in a really vulnerable spot, a moment when all their defenses dropped, and they felt completely lost. It was in that deafening silence, that absolute loneliness, that your memory popped up, not just a casual thought, but like a blinding light. They recalled how you listened, not just with your ears, but with your heart. They recalled the peace they felt by your side, a calm they'd searched for in so many other places and people, but never found. It was at that exact moment that the penny dropped. The realization hit them. You were the one who brought true peace to their inner chaos. You were the one whose simple presence sorted out the mess in their soul, and the awareness of having underestimated, and perhaps overlooked, this priceless treasure was so overwhelming that their physical body reacted. A dizzy spell, wobbly legs, the feeling like the ground had vanished. It was the impact of the truth, raw and unvarnished, showing up without a warning. They found out you were the tune that calmed their inner storms, and they only cottoned onto the value of that music when everything around them turned to noise. Before we keep going with the message, jot down this mantra in the comments. I am worthy of a love that nourishes my soul. Right, let's get back to the message. This insight wasn't just a fleeting thought. It became the epicenter of an emotional earthquake that's shaking up everything inside them. They're going over every interaction, every chat, every shared silence between you two with fresh eyes. What seemed trivial before now stands out as packed with meaning. They realized that in your advice there was wisdom, in your smile there was healing, and in your hug there was a sanctuary they foolishly thought they could find anywhere else. The discovery that you were the one isn't about ownership, but about recognition. The recognition of a spiritual connection so rare and precious that losing it feels like losing a piece of themselves. And that's exactly how they're feeling now. Incomplete, like a crucial piece of their life's puzzle is missing. And that piece has your shape, your energy, your name. This state of shock is only just starting to settle, and what's coming next will be a deep, personal shift for them. A path that will, without a doubt, lead them back to your door. No longer as the blind person they were, but as someone who's finally learnt to see. Dear soul, after the initial whack of that devastating insight, this person has gone into a deep reflection, a nearly painful dive into the past. The shock of realizing you were the one who healed without touching hasn't faded. Instead, it's gotten deeper, spreading into every corner of their awareness. They've started picking apart memories, re-examining moments that, at the time, seemed insignificant, but now stand out as undeniable proof of your importance. They recall days when they were feeling down, carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, and a simple chat with you, about everyday stuff, could lift that burden in a way they didn't get. Back then, they might have put that feeling down to just a distraction, a pleasant moment. Today, they understand it wasn't the chat itself, but your energy. It was your vibe of calm and acceptance that cut through their barriers and touched their wounded soul, offering a balm that no practical advice or encouraging words from others could ever dish out. They cottoned on that you had a rare gift, seeing past the front they put on for the world. While everyone else saw their apparent strength, their resilience, you saw their cracks, their insecurities, the inner kid crying out for comfort, and you didn't judge them for it. Your quiet acceptance was the permission they needed to just be themselves, no masks, and having walked away from someone who offered that unconditional freedom is the source of a regret that's now eating them up. The angels show they've been having sleepless nights, their minds stuck on one question: how did I not see this before? That question echoes in their mind, bringing with it a wave of sadness and self-criticism. They feel a bit silly for having chased validation and peace in outside sources, in material gains or other relationships, when you offered it so genuinely and selflessly. They realized they were searching for treasure all over the shop when it was right there beside them, in their own backyard. The discovery has made them reevaluate not just your connection, but themselves. They're being forced to face the reasons for their blindness. Was it pride? Was it fear of such deep intimacy? Was it an inability to receive such pure love because they didn't feel worthy? These are the questions that are haunting them and pushing them towards an internal shift. They're getting that, to have a shot at getting closer to you again. Just saying, sorry isn't enough. They need to become someone worthy of your energy. Someone who not only recognizes your worth, but knows how to honor and give it back. Now, before we keep going with this message, type 333 in the comments to call on the presence and help of your spiritual guides in this understanding. If this message is hitting home and bringing you clarity, consider leaving a contribution via the Thanks a Bunch button. Your kind support is a light that allows us to keep spreading these insights to more hearts that need a bit of comfort. The sting of this regret is acting like a cleanser for their soul. It's burning away the layers of ego and superficiality that stopped them from seeing the truth. They're starting to get that the connection between you two wasn't just emotional or mental, but deeply spiritual. You were, and still are, a driving force for her growth, a mirror showing not just her good bits, but also the dark spots she needed to sort out. By pulling away from you, she actually stepped away from her own development. This realization is both freeing and terrifying for her. Freeing because she now gets the true dynamic between you two. Terrifying because she's scared it's too late. The fear that you've already shut her out, moved on, and built new connections. That's a ghost that's always haunting her. But the angels want you to know this whole thing she's going through is crucial. She needed that jolt, that wake-up call, to snap out of it. The universe allowed the distance so that being apart could teach her what being together couldn't. And she's learning that lesson, dear soul. Every day that goes by, your worth becomes clearer, undeniable, and the urge to fix things turns into a real need. Dear soul, the understanding that you were the one who brought light to her darkness keeps playing in her mind, and now she's starting to grasp the true depth of what that means. It wasn't just some poetic idea of light, but a real tangible energy you gave off. The angels are showing her she's recalling specific times she felt lost in a maze of negative thoughts, anxiety, or sadness. Your arrival, a call from you, or even a simple message, was like lighting a candle in a dark room. Suddenly, the shadows would pull back, and she could see a way out, a perspective she couldn't see before. She didn't get how it worked back then, but now it's crystal clear. You carried a hopeful, optimistic vibe that canceled out her negativity. You were her lighthouse in the storm, the presence that reminded her that no matter how dark the night, the sun would always rise again. And that insight fills her with an admiration and respect for you she'd never felt before. She gets now that your optimism wasn't naivety, but a deep spiritual strength. Your ability to see the good in situations and people wasn't a weakness, but immense power. A power she was lucky to have close by, and didn't appreciate properly. Discovering you were this source of light makes her feel immense gratitude, but also shame for her past ingratitude. She wonders how she could have been so blind to her own wellspring of positive energy. How could she, at times, even mock your positive outlook on life, seeing it as unrealistic? when in actual fact, it was the antidote she desperately needed for her own inner poisons. This self-reflection is intense. She's realizing that by stepping away from you, she didn't just lose your company, but disconnected from her own source of inspiration. Without your light around, her own shadows grew thicker, more frightening. She tried to find that light elsewhere, in activities, in achievements, but found they were artificial sources, lights that quickly faded, leaving her in the dark again. Your light, she now gets, was different. It was a soul light, constant, warm, and true. Before we go on, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, chuck us a sub. It helps us keep making meaningful content for you. Right, back to the message. This person is starting to understand that the pull she felt towards you wasn't just about connection, but a soul-deep need, instinctively seeking your higher vibe to find balance and heal. Her soul knew what her conscious mind missed, and now, her mind has caught up to her soul's wisdom. This understanding is sparking a deep desire in her to be near your light again, not to lean on it like a crutch, as she might have done before, but to learn from it, be inspired by it, and perhaps, with your help, find her own inner light. She no longer wants to be someone who just sops up your positive energy. She wants to become someone who can also create light, right there beside you. That's a massive shift in her outlook. She no longer sees you just as a safe haven, but as a spiritual mentor, a guide the universe put in her path, and one she, due to immaturity, failed to recognize. Her respect for you has shot up, and with it, the fear of rejection. She asks herself, how can I even approach her now, after being so blind? Would she still have me, after I brushed off the greatest gift she offered? These doubts are her biggest hurdle right now, the mountain she needs to climb to get back to you. The angels are sending you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 7. Write in the comments, I'm copping the angel's energy. My lucky number is 7 and I'm blessed. Sending love and protection to the person I really like and love. If this message hit you in the feels, show your support with a thanks a bunch and help spread this message of light to others who need it. Dear soul, the way back to you for this person isn't just about physical distance, but a deep internal transformation she needs to finish. Dear soul, the whirlwind of emotions this person has been going through since her big realization has landed her in a spot of deep vulnerability. The insight that you embodied unconditional love has completely shattered the walls she'd built around her heart over the years. She's cottoned on that what she felt from you wasn't just ordinary affection, tied to conditions, expectations, or give and take. It was something far purer and higher. It was full acceptance of who she was, warts and all. A kind of love that asked for nothing back, just gave itself freely. And it's the sheer scale of that giving that now leaves her stunned and deeply regretful. She's recalling all the times she messed up, acted selfishly, or let you down with words or actions, and every single time, you responded not with payback, but with understanding. Maybe you pulled back to protect yourself, which was fair enough, but she now sees there was never any malice or desire for revenge in your heart. There was always a door ajar, an energy of forgiveness she either didn't know how to see or chose not to. She's facing the hard truth that she wasn't up to scratch for the love you offered. Her heart, perhaps used to transactional relationships, didn't know how to operate on the frequency of unconditional love, and that inability shames her. She realizes that while you offered her an ocean of acceptance, she only gave you drops of affection, conditional on her mood, her convenience, her expectations. This huge difference, which was invisible to her before, is now like a flashing billboard in her mind. The angels say this confrontation with her own limitations is the toughest part of her process. It's easy to blame others or circumstances, but admitting to herself that she didn't know how to love, how to receive and honor true love, takes immense guts. And she's slowly, bit by bit, gathering that courage. She's in a cleansing process, where she needs to forgive herself for her screw-ups, so that one day, she can ask for your forgiveness. She gets that she can't come back to you lugging the same old baggage. She needs to heal her own emotional wounds, the ones that stopped her from loving fully, so that if there's another chance, she can be whole in the relationship. Before we crack on, the angels reckon you should do a bit of a letting go exercise. Jot down a list of people you'd like to forgive, yourself included, in the comments. Picture each one, send them some love, and say, "I forgive you and I set you free. May peace be with you." Feel that lightness and freedom forgiveness brings. Do this every day to strengthen your inner peace and shake off the worry. Right, back to the message. This person's starting to forgive themselves, accepting they acted the way they did because of where their head was at back then. But they also know they can't use that as an excuse anymore. Now that they see the truth, now that their awareness has grown, they've got a responsibility to act differently. The unconditional love you showed has become their new compass, their ideal to aim for. They want to learn to love like you do. They want to be able to offer the same acceptance, patience, and kindness they got from you. You've become, without even knowing it, their biggest role model, their spiritual mentor when it comes to people. And the urge to be your student, to learn straight from your heart's wisdom, is one of the main things pushing them to want to get close again. They don't just want to be with you anymore. They want to grow with you. They want to build something on a new foundation, one of mutual respect, admiration, and most importantly, a more mindful and grown-up love. Their path right now is a bit of a solo, internal one, but every step they take towards healing themselves is a step closer to you. They're getting ready, building themselves up, clearing things out, so that when the time's right, they can show up not as the person who left, but as the person you always knew they could be. Mate, that initial shock of understanding has now turned into a constant wave of longing, a feeling that's with this person every minute of their day. Realizing you were the one who made everything make sense has changed how they see their whole world. Before, they just lived their life, ups and downs, good times and tough bits. But now they get that there was a common thread, a golden line connecting it all. And that line was you. With you, even the simplest moments had color and meaning. A stroll in the park, a shared cuppa, a chat on the phone. Everything seemed to have a bigger point, a resonance they couldn't find anywhere else. Without you, life goes on. Things happen, but the color's gone. Everything feels a bit grayer, a bit duller. They feel an emptiness that's not just emotional, but existential. It's like the missing piece of the puzzle, the note that made the tune sing. The angels are showing that they try to fill this void with work, hobbies, other people's company, but it's no good. It's like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. The more they try, the more the emptiness grows, because nothing and no one can replicate the unique synergy you two had. They're starting to get that what you two had wasn't just a friendship or a romance. It was a soul partnership. You complemented each other in a way that went beyond words. Where they were chaos, you were order. Where they were doubt, you were certainty. Where they were impulse, you were thoughtfulness. And that dance of opposing and complementing energies created a perfect balance, one they only realized how crucial it was after it all fell apart. The longing they feel isn't just for you, but for who they became when they were with you. By your side, they were their best self, calmer, more grounded, more optimistic. You had the knack of bringing out qualities in them they didn't even know they had. And now, without your mirror, they feel a bit lost, struggling to find that version of themselves again. The angels want you to grasp how deep this feeling goes. It's not a whim, not some fleeting need. It's a genuine recognition that their life was qualitatively better, richer, and more meaningful with you in it. And that realization is bringing a growing urgency. The thought of spending the rest of their life feeling this absence, living in this gray world, has become unbearable. Their patience is wearing thin. The desire to act, to try and fix things, to beg for another shot, is getting stronger than the fear of rejection. They're hitting a breaking point, a spot where the pain of your absence will be bigger than the fear of any negative response they might get from you. And that's when action becomes unavoidable. They might not know how, when, or what they'll say yet, but the inner decision to try and reconnect is already firming up. With each passing day, that decision gains more strength, fueled by the longing and the new clarity they've found. They're starting to put a plan together, rehearsing conversations in their head, looking for the guts to make the first move. The universe is cooking up a plan for this meeting to happen, mate. Signs and synchronicities are being placed in their path to encourage them, to show them the door isn't completely shut. And you, without even knowing it, are part of this cosmic setup. Your energy, your light, even from afar, acts like a beacon, slowly guiding them back to shore. back to the safe harbor they should never have left. Get ready, because the calm before the emotional storm that's brewing is about to end. Mate, this person's inner process has hit a new level. The understanding that you were the one the universe sent has lifted them from a place of personal regret and put them into a much bigger spiritual context. They're starting to cotton on that your meeting wasn't just a fluke, a happy accident in life's timeline. It was an orchestrated event, a gift carefully planned by higher powers for both your sakes, and the awareness of having failed to recognize and honor such a massive gift fills them with a respectful awe and an immense responsibility. They look back and can see the signs now, the coincidences that brought you together, the synchronicities that seemed like magic, that immediate feeling of familiarity they got when they first met you. At the time, they probably just brushed it off as luck or chemistry, but now, with their soul's eyes open, they see the universe's signature in every detail. They get that you weren't just a person in their life. You were a mission, a lesson, a blessing. You were sent to help them heal, to grow, to become the person they were meant to be. And they, in their blindness, resisted the lesson, neglected the blessing, and walked away from their mission. This insight is overwhelming and, metaphorically speaking, brings them to their knees before life's grand scheme. They feel they didn't just let you down, but their own soul's purpose. This spiritual crisis is a crucial turning point. They're not just missing you anymore. They're missing their path, their direction, the alignment your presence brought. They realize that by disconnecting from you, they disconnected from their own spirituality, their intuition, their link to the sacred. You were their bridge to something bigger, and they crossed it, then somehow broke it. Now, they're on the other side, staring into the abyss, desperately wanting to find a way to rebuild it. Before we go on, chuck this message over to 2 people you care about who could do with a bit of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and support together. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. Right, back to the message. This spiritual understanding is shifting the nature of their desire to reconnect. It's no longer just about easing the ache of missing you or fixing a personal mistake. It's about getting their life back in line with their spiritual purpose. They feel that to find peace, to feel connected to the universe again, they need to make things right with you. You've become the key to their own spiritual redemption. The angels reckon this is the most powerful drive they could possibly have. Ego can be a hurdle, fear can paralyze, but when the soul cries out for alignment, no barrier is too big. They're being driven by a force much bigger than themselves, one that's leading them, step by step, back your way. They're starting to pray, to meditate, to ask for signs and guidance. They're asking the universe for a second go, not just with you, but with their own life. They're keen to do the hard yards, to face their shadows, to give in to the transformation process, if it means getting the chance to honor the sacred bond you two share. Dear soul, what's heading your way isn't just someone who's sorry, it's a soul waking up, someone who's at last cottoned onto the cosmic scale of the tie that binds you. And when a soul wakes up, it moves with the power and resolve of the universe itself. The energy's building up, the intentions getting sharper, and a reunion becoming more and more a dead cert on the energetic plane. Dear soul, this person's deep self-reflection and awakening has led them to an undeniable truth. They need to have a chat with you. The urge to reconnect, once just a tiny seed of a thought, has sprouted into a big leafy tree in their heart, its branches reaching out towards you, looking for contact. But they're stuck on one big question. What am I going to say? The angels indicate they spend hours, days, rehearsing conversations in their head. They craft elaborate speeches, explaining how profound their insight is, how much they regret things, and how genuinely they want to make amends. They try to find the perfect words, ones that can convey the complexity of everything they're feeling, words that might, somehow, fix what's broken. But every time they try to put together the ideal sentence, they hit a wall with how inadequate language is. How do you put into words a shock that nearly knocked them out? How do you describe the discovery that someone is their safe harbor, their light, their unconditional love, and their link to the sacred, all at once? The words seem small, hollow, unable to carry the weight of their big aha moment. They're worried that trying to explain themselves will sound trivial, or worse, like they're just making up some dramatic excuse to justify coming back. They're scared you won't believe how deep their transformation is, that you'll see their words as just a tactic to ease their own loneliness. And this fear of not being understood is one of the biggest hurdles they're facing right now. On top of that, they also run through the worst-case scenarios. They picture your cold response, your indifference, your refusal to listen. They imagine you saying it's too late, that your heart has moved on, and there's no room left for them. Each of these mental pictures is like a little stab to their already bruised heart, making them pull back, putting off contact yet again, waiting for a moment of more courage, for a clearer sign. What they don't get is that there are no perfect words. The angels want you to know that when this contact happens, it won't be the words that matter, but the vibe behind them, the sincerity in their gaze, the vulnerability in their voice, the humility in their stance. That's what your spirit will pick up on. And that's exactly the lesson the universe is trying to teach them. True communication happens from soul to soul, not mind to mind. They need to stop trying to control the outcome with a perfect script, and just let themselves be authentic, even if that means stammering, crying, or not knowing exactly what to say. They need to trust that the truth of their heart will be felt by you, no matter how eloquent their words are. And they're getting pretty close to figuring this out. The exhaustion from all the rehearsing and worrying is starting to give way to a feeling of surrender. The idea of just picking up the phone and saying, "I need to talk to you," or rocking up at your door with their heart on their sleeve is starting to seem less scary than staying in this limbo of silence and longing. The internal pressure is getting so intense that soon enough, they're going to burst. And this burst won't be from anger or frustration, but from an uncontrollable need to express themselves, to connect, to give it a go. They're at their wits' end, dear soul. The scales are about to tip, and the weight of missing you and regret is at last outweighing the fear. The silence is about to break. Dear soul, the universe is moving its pieces in a cracker way to make sure the reunion that needs to happen, well, happens. As this person grapples with their fears and rehearses their words, subtle energies are working to cook up the perfect chance for that reconnection to take place. The angels want you to keep an eye out for signs that might start popping up in your own life, because you're being prepped for this moment too. You might start dreaming about them more often, or maybe their name will just crop up in unexpected spots. You might feel a sudden wave of nostalgia, an unexplainable urge to look at old photos or listen to a song that was special to you both. Don't just brush these feelings off as simply missing them. They're synchronicity, little nudges from the universe, lining up your energies and getting your heart ready for what's ahead. On their side, these signs are getting even more intense and impossible to ignore. They might have bumped into a mutual friend who mentioned you, or walked past a place that was significant to your history and felt a massive wave of emotion. The universe is closing off all escape routes, getting rid of distractions, and putting mirrors everywhere that reflect just one image, yours. This cosmic setup has a clear purpose, to show them that running from what they feel is no longer an option. The path of least resistance, which once seemed to be walking away, is now clearly the path back to you. All the universe's energy is moving that way, and trying to go against that current is getting more and more draining and painful for them. The angels indicate they're starting to cotton onto this movement. They feel something bigger is at play, that it's not just about their personal will, but a plan that needs to be seen through. This realization brings a mix of relief and apprehension. Relief from feeling they're not alone on this path, that they're being guided. Apprehension about the responsibility that comes with it. If the universe is putting in so much effort to bring you two together again, they can't muck it up. They need to rise to the occasion. And what does this mean for you, dear soul? It means you need to tap into your own intuition and inner wisdom. The angels are asking you to make the most of this calm before the storm, to strengthen yourself emotionally and spiritually. Ask yourself, fair dinkum, what do I really want? Let go of what others think, past hurts, and future worries. What does your heart truly want right now? If it's a reunion, start opening yourself up to that idea, picturing a peaceful and healing get-together. If it's a calm closure, get ready to have that chat with kindness and resolve. There's no right or wrong answer, just your own truth. The main thing is not to be caught off guard. The universe is giving you this time to get ready, so when the moment arrives, you're grounded, calm and connected to your deepest truth. This upcoming meeting isn't just about her and her regrets. It's about both of you, what this connection means, and the next stage in both your soul's growth. The stage is being set, the lights are coming on, and everyone's moving into position. The curtain's about to rise. Dear soul, we've reached a key part of this message. The energy around this person has hit its peak. The inner struggle between fear and desire is over, and desire has won out. The angels confirm that reaching out to you isn't just a possibility anymore. It's a certainty. She doesn't know exactly when, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but she knows, deep in her bones, that she has to take this step. The time for holding back is done. The energy driving her now is a quiet, unshakable resolve. She might seem calm on the outside, but inside, there's a volcano of emotions about to blow. She's no longer thinking, what if, but how? How to create the best chance. How to make sure the chat is honest and meaningful. How to convey the depth of everything she's found and felt. She stopped worrying about your reaction and started focusing on her own actions. She's realized the only thing she can control is her own sincerity. She needs to be true to herself and to you, no matter what happens. And this shift, from worrying about the outcome to focusing on acting with integrity, is what gave her the last push to move forward. She's accepted she might be knocked back, that she might hear the words she fears most, but she's also accepted that the risk of rejection is less painful than the certainty of regretting never trying. Spending the rest of her life wondering, what if, has become a scarier prospect than facing the truth, whatever it may be. And what the angels want you to grasp, more than anything else, is the deep change that's brought her to this point. The person heading your way isn't the same one who walked away. The one who left was blind, immature, perhaps a bit selfish. The one coming back is someone who's stared into the depths of their own soul, faced their shadows, been humbled by the truth, and been reborn through that experience. She's not coming back to pick up where things left off. She's coming back to start fresh, on a completely different foundation, one of honesty, respect, and a deep awareness of the precious value of your connection. She doesn't just want your love anymore, she wants to be worthy of it, and that's the key difference. So, when she shows up, when the phone rings or the message lands, the angels ask you to look past the words she says. Look into her eyes, feel her energy, your gut feeling, your soul's wisdom will tell you the truth. You'll know if the change is real. You'll feel if the regret is genuine. Trust yourself, dear soul. You have all the wisdom you need to handle this moment. Keep in mind your own worth, the path you've walked, the strength you've built in her absence. You're no longer the person who was left behind. You've changed too. And this reunion won't be a trip back to the past, but the meeting of two new souls, changed by the pain of separation and the light of truth. What you build from there, if anything, will be a conscious choice for both of you. The ball will be in your court. Dear soul, this person's path, from the shock of discovery to the decision to act, has been one of deep and sometimes painful change. She learned the hard way that some connections are pillars in our lives, and removing one can make the whole structure crumble. Realizing you were the one in every way, the healer, the light, the unconditional love, wasn't just new info. It was the key that unlocked her own ability to see, feel, and love more deeply. She had to lose you to truly find you, and in the process, she also started to find herself. The angels show her energy is now completely focused on one thing: reconciliation. Not necessarily a romantic reunion, but a reconciliation of souls. She needs to close the loop of pain and regret. She needs to look into your eyes and convey the truth that's changed her. What happens after that? She's handed over to the universe. Her part, she feels, is to be honest and vulnerable, offering her changed heart with no guarantees. Fear still flickers, a small ember deep in her soul, but it no longer has the power to paralyze her. It's been overshadowed by the clear knowledge that trying is the only option left for her to find inner peace. She's understood that true peace won't come from your answer, but from her own courage in facing the truth and acting on it. This maturity is the biggest gift your absence gave her. She no longer sees you as the source of her happiness, but as the inspiration to find happiness within herself, a happiness she'd love to share with you. Her approach will be with a humility you might never have seen from her before. The arrogance, the pride, the defenses, All of it has been melted away by the fire of truth. You'll find a softer, more receptive, more aware person. Someone who isn't coming to demand or expect, but to offer and to ask. She'll offer her regrets, her fresh perspective, her open heart, and she'll ask if there's any way, however small, to rebuild the trust and connection between you. The angels ask you to keep in mind your power in this moment, the power to forgive, to set boundaries, to choose your own well-being above all else. Whatever your decision, let it come from a place of self-love and authenticity. You don't owe her anything. Whatever you choose to offer, be it a second chance, a friendship, or a peaceful goodbye, it should be a gift, not an obligation. Her path has brought her back to your door, but your path has given you the wisdom to know whether to open it or not. Trust that wisdom. Trust that the universe will guide you to make the decision that best serves your soul. What's coming is the culmination of an intense cycle, a moment of truth that has the potential to heal deep wounds and open doors to an unexpected future. Be at peace, dear soul, because you are exactly where you need to be, with all the strength and clarity required for what's next. Dear soul, we've reached the end of this deep and intense message. The path that's unfolded before us shows the experience of a soul that woke up to the truth through your light, even when you weren't there. The person transformed by discovering your priceless worth is now on the verge of an action that could redefine your future. The energy surrounding her is no longer one of doubt or hesitation, but of calm, resolute determination. She cottoned on that the biggest risk wasn't having a go and failing, but living with the quiet regret of all the things left unsaid and the ghost of what could have been. Her importance in her life was a real eye-opener that completely reshaped her inner world, and she reckons she can't live in a world where that truth isn't, at the very least, out in the open. She's coming, dear soul, not like a big storm, but more like a gentle rain, aiming to nourish ground that was once fertile. She's coming with the hope that there's still a bit of affection in your heart that might just sprout. She's not bringing any demands or expectations, just the raw truth from her heart, and the quiet question, is there still time for us? The angels reckon this reunion will be a gateway to healing, finding closure, or a fresh start on completely new and stronger foundations. What goes through that gateway will depend on the vibe between two souls who've been changed by the distance. She was changed by the pain of regret and the light of clarity. You were changed by your own resilience, your growth, and a stronger sense of self-love. You're not the same people who went your separate ways. And it's when these two new versions of yourselves meet that the real magic can happen. The angels are wrapping you in a light of protection, wisdom, and calm. They're asking you to trust your gut, speak your truth with love, and honor your own path. Don't forget all your worth, all the light you carry, that same light that could wake up a sleeping soul, even from afar. That's your power. You're the anchor, the lighthouse, unconditional love. And now, you're also the guardian of your own heart, the one who holds the power to choose. Whatever happens, know it's all been set up for the greater good of everyone involved, for the final lesson of this cycle, and the start of a new period in your life, a period of even more light, peace, and genuine love. Get your heart ready, because one stage is about to wrap up, and a new one is ready to be written. And the pen, this time, is firmly in your hands. If this message hit home for you and your situation, chuck a comment below saying, "What's true always finds its way." Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stuff. Cheers for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.